Story 1. Should have packed a pair of sneakers to change into once all the photography was done. Honestly, like, do the first dance and then have a bathroom break to change into a t-shirt and jeans because I paid for this and I deserve to be comfortable. Story 2. I had a wedding outside of my church. My dad is a pastor. We hired a caterer and had a chandelier hanging inside a beautiful arch lit up at night, along with many elegant lights. There were white flowers and roses everywhere. Over 200 people attended. I don't remember much. I didn't eat or get to talk to everyone. We got married in October and had a caramel apple bar. I never even saw it and completely forgot it was there. It was all very expensive and over so quickly. I wish I had gathered a close group of 25 to 50 people and gone out to the beach. A friend of mine did that. They had an outdoor pasta bar with salads and lights strung up. We all laughed and danced on the sand. It was beautiful. Story 3. I wish our photographer did not take so long with the pictures. I think I would have wanted to spend a second day getting dressed up again and completing the photo shoot because it really takes away from the day. It is exhausting. I also wish we had done all candid shots. We missed all the good parts of mingling and having fun just to have our pictures taken. It was frustrating. Story 4. The only thing I would do differently on the actual day of the wedding was the super awkward moment before leaving for the ceremony. Everyone was crammed into my parents' tiny living room, eating finger food and getting to know the other side of the relatives. I was so nervous and stressed that my autistic brain glitched, and I decided to unwrap all the wedding gifts right there as if it were a birthday. Story 5. My wife and I made the mistake of feeling obligated to invite everyone at the office because if you invite Barbara, you have to invite Dave, but you cannot leave out Ed and Lynette because you are working on that project and so on. We look at pictures from 30 years ago and wonder, who are these people? My advice is to only invite the people you are closest with. Story 6. My wedding was amazing because our mantra was, it's just one day celebrating what will be a lifelong marriage. This perspective helped us adapt to situations without getting too attached to a specific vision. The smartest thing we did was take the formal pictures before the ceremony. The photographer captured amazing first-look shots that wouldn't have been possible otherwise. We were able to go directly from the short ceremony to the party, so no one had time to be bored. My only regret was expecting my family of origin to be different. I had hoped my mother would care about being the mother of the bride, but she was as indifferent on my wedding day as on any other day. I was naive to think wedding magic would change that. Everything else was magical, and we celebrated our 20th anniversary. Story 7. I had my wedding and reception in the event room of a brewery. There was plenty of pizza and beer for everyone. I DJ'd from a Mac laptop, had a photo booth and cornhole games on the lawn. Cost me about $1,800. I wouldn't have changed a thing. Story 8. Like you said in comments, it's absolutely possible to have a small, low-key wedding and still have it be incredibly special. Being present with your partner is what makes it special. The exchanged excited, giddy looks while the officiant is speaking, the genuine looks and embraces while photos are taken, just sharing the wonderful moment. Story 9. Spend less. We did not even spend that much by wedding standards, like $5,000 in 2012. But it is just so irrelevant as soon as it is over. Go cheap on everything and only invite people you are excited to see. Story 10. Grabbed our closest friends and family, getting married at the courthouse, then going to our favorite bar. Weddings are a sham and a money-making scheme, and I regret the entirety of it all. I wish we had kept it simple. Story 11. I should have never caved to all the family tradition demands. It is only mothers-in-law showing off to younger people. It was too expensive with so many things. Do what makes both of you happy outside of family pressures. Elope if you want. Story 12. My thoughts and opinions have changed recently, so I would leave out a few things we did only because of usual wedding traditions. I would leave out the garter retrieval and toss. I would leave out the bouquet toss because it was awkward with our smaller guest count. I would shorten the first dance song because I was naive to think the full-length song was fine. It was awkward swaying back and forth for 3 to 4 minutes. Story 13. More time with my husband. Getting ready took a very long time, and I wish it had not, so I could have had more time with him. Story 14. Nothing. We had a very simple wedding with only the things that we valued. We loved every moment of it. Usually, people with regrets do things to please others, such as include traditions or people they did not want or host a bigger party than they desired. Story 15:1. I ate something. I was told the food at my wedding was fantastic, but I was too busy greeting people, talking, dancing, and partying to eat. 2. I remembered to get on the microphone and thank everyone for coming. 3. I remembered to cut the cake. We had a variety of small desserts in addition to a cake, but since we did not cut the cake, nobody ate it, which was unfortunate because it was delicious. Story 16. We were so busy with pictures, the guests, and the wedding that it just went by so fast. I guess sometimes you just have to enjoy the moment instead of photographing every second. Story 17. I included all my siblings in my wedding along with my friends. I have many younger siblings, but they were old enough to participate. I married quite young and felt closer to my friends and peers at that time in my life. However, looking back, I wish I had honored my siblings more because they are with me for life. I believe it would have meant a lot to them, even though they never said so at the time. As the big sister, they did not question me. They just loved me and were happy for me. 20 years later, it remains one of my few regrets in life. Friends come and go, but siblings are likely forever. Story 18. Very little. We had a fantastic time. With hindsight, I would change. The photography company was great on the day, but took a long time to deliver the admittedly wonderful photos. I would probably choose differently next time. It was not something I could have known in advance, but perhaps we could have met with more vendors and been more selective to reduce stress afterward. I would probably spend a bit more and buy the paper flowers we really wanted instead of settling for the cheaper option. We did not have many flowers, so it would not have cost much more, but it is a small regret when I see pictures from the day. I would ask the DJ to play a specific song for the final dance of the night. It did not occur to us beforehand, and they played a song we disliked as the last dance. Not a big deal at all. On the positive side, we loved the venue, staff, celebrant, food, and drink. It was a wonderful celebration with our dearest friends and family. Story 19. Skip a champagne toast. You are literally pouring your money down the drain. Be present at your wedding, dancing with your guests. Think about who is cleaning up all your decor, centerpieces, and such at the end of the night. Everyone is usually intoxicated. Do not do food stations, especially not a made-to-order pasta station. A really good live band is a great choice. Stick with your timeline. Weddings are too long. From 5 p.m. to 10 or 11 p.m. is brutal. Do one dance at the end of the night by yourselves, after everyone has been ushered outside for maybe a sparkler send-off. If you are including dogs in the ceremony, hire a handler. No one wants turkey. Light sticks and glow sticks are embarrassing. Keep them away from your wedding. Consider your environmental impact for one night and how much trash it will generate. Consider China rentals. Story 20. I wish I had made a list of getting ready photos I wanted. I love the ones I have, but I would have liked some with my mother and grandmother. I missed out on those because I did a first reveal with them. Story 21. I put my foot down and did not open the presents right after the reception. It would have been more fun to open them after the honeymoon. My mother was extremely insistent, despite us having a 2-hour drive to our honeymoon. Story 22. Made it way smaller. We had around 150 people, and I may only talk to a handful of them still. This was a decade ago. Also, do not marry the guy. I should have been honest about my feelings before we got married, and that totally backfired. Story 23. Well, things are different now because Pinterest and Airbnb were not available back then. I would have rented a large Airbnb house to host a maximum of 40 to 50 guests. I would cater all the food through a delicious Mexican restaurant and hire about 10 college students to help serve and clean up. I also would not have let my mother know any of my plans, nor would I have given her opinion any merit. I was young and thought I had to, but she literally ruined my day. I hated my wedding. Story 24. I wish I had hired a videographer. I did not because of the cost, and I asked myself, when would I ever watch our wedding video? but it has been 15 years and I wish I could watch it. Story 25. If you are a man, I recommend getting those small suspender-like clips that hold your dress shirt tucked into your pants. They also make small elastic button extenders that are lifesavers. I had about 5 of them, and almost everyone in my group wanted one for the collar button to allow more breathing room around the neck. Story 26. 32 years later, my husband still complains that I didn't trust him not to smash my face with cake. So, I cut a really tiny piece for him to feed me. I guess I would cut a larger piece of cake, but otherwise I wouldn't change a thing. Story 27. I wish I had made more effort in picking my dress. I got a simple and comfortable one from a local boutique at a low price because it was closing down. I had the attitude that it did not matter and that it was not what the day was about. This is true, but I felt uncomfortable the entire day, and you can see me adjusting the straps of the dress in many of my pictures. I also did not feel beautiful because of this. It was definitely an excellent day overall, and I was very happy all day. Story 28. I wish I had made my brother give a best man speech. I got married at a municipal courthouse with my wife and our immediate families and had a quick reception at a hipster restaurant before hopping on a plane for the honeymoon. It was perfect, exactly what we wanted. Neither of us likes attention. We just wanted to be husband and wife with the least amount of stress and nonsense. However, when my brother got married, it was the opposite. Hundreds of guests, elaborate reception, a dozen speeches, and so on. Being unprepared, I didn't think to prepare anything and had to wing it. I did all right. Everybody was happy, and I made it a little touching and a little funny, but I was not having a good time. If I had known, I would have put him on the spot. Maybe one day a renewal of vows can restore harmony. Story 29. Keep the ceremony on the beach, but only for us and a few friends. Spend the rest of the day eating cake and pizza, playing on the beach, and just having a good time. Keep the photographer, but cancel the rest of the vendors except for someone to deliver the pizza and drinks. Keep the photographer for the ceremony and later for sunset photos, because of course you need sunset photos. Forget all the formalities, guests, and especially family drama. I didn't want a wedding in the first place, but went with it because my husband and I both knew our wedding was probably the only one for both our parents to attend as the parents of the bride and groom. It wasn't worth the stress or money, even though we kept pretty close to a tight budget. The food was very good, but I'd trade it for some Costco pizzas and a far better time. Story 30. I loved our wedding, but I wish we had a videographer. A friend gave me the same advice and I ignored it. My husband wanted one because our niece enjoyed watching her parents' video. I talked him out of it, saying it was unnecessary. It is unnecessary, but I wish we had one. I loved our ceremony so much. It was short and sweet, but I would love to relive the tears and laughter. Story 31. Gave the in-laws and my mother more remedial tasks to keep them busy and out of our hair. Spent more time researching people who were suggested to us. The photographer was my mom's friend. He was not good. A friend's friend was a professional decorator. She was not good either. The DJ was my mother-in-law's friend. They were not great. Did not plan an outdoor wedding in June in Oregon. Fortunately, we planned enough to have the wedding at the reception spot indoors. That's really about it. We were poor, fresh out of the army, and my now wife had just graduated from college. We did not want to accept money or help from our parents, which, after 22 years, we are really happy about having done on our own. Story 32. If I could change one thing, it would be the dress. Definitely spend as much time as you need to choose the right dress. Try it on and spend half a day in it. Check yourself out often, try it with different underclothes, and make sure you are comfortable. Do not take advice from anyone else. You need to be happy with it, and no one else matters. Story 33. Nothing. We kept it small, about 60 people, and did not listen to any opinions about what people thought our wedding should or should not have. We also used an all-inclusive venue, and it was amazing and stress-free. I cannot recommend Wedgwood weddings enough if you are in Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New England, North Carolina, or Texas. Story 34. I do not know about doing something different, but something we did that was a massive hit was having a bacon bar. Exactly what it sounds like, an assortment of bacon, chocolate-covered, candied, maple, pepper, and more. Story 35. Absolutely nothing. I got the courthouse to open on a Saturday. We had a room that looked like a chapel. Family and some friends were there. Then we had a great party at an Italian restaurant in their grape garden with all our friends there. Story 36. I have been married twice and attended both modest backyard weddings and extravagant destination weddings that lasted several days with different themes and outfit requirements each day, involving long travel and expensive hotels. The fancy weddings were beautiful and featured extravagant details worthy of a Vogue cover, but the small, simple ones were just as, if not more, special, intimate, and meaningful. They allowed time to connect emotionally with the couple and guests because there was not the extra busy schedule of first songs, first dances, pictures, speeches, cake cutting, videos, performances, location changes, and everything in between. Money does not make a wedding more special. It simply makes it a fancier party, often with guests who feel uncomfortable and want to leave early. What truly makes a wedding special and creates lifelong memories are heartfelt, emotionally open moments with people who care about you. Allow people to share the experience of love with you. The rest is just a show. Save the money and focus on meaningful rituals and the ceremony first in your planning. This includes people sharing their love for you, offering their blessings, expressing heartfelt emotions for each other, and acknowledging your commitment to your future together. Then have a party if you wish. Story 37. Oh my! We fought last night because we didn't spend equal time with his parents. It was a full-blown fight, and then he got very sick on our honeymoon. The doctor said this is very common and often happens after such a stressful event. There were so many expectations from many people. I wish we had just taken our family and close friends to a beautiful place and spent a week vacationing with loved ones instead of paying to entertain hundreds of people. I kissed hundreds of people to welcome them and did the same to say goodbye. We didn't even have a chance to eat or see our friends. It was ridiculous. Story 38. Spend less time on it. Just get a simple to-do list and do the bare minimum. Picking out favorite music, making a video slideshow, or going to the hall the day before to hang up lights was a waste of time. Have other people do it for you. Everyone has a camera. Have them email you the best photos. Get to the honeymoon. Story 39. I wish I were stronger in standing up for what I wanted. I was easily persuaded to change things when my parents requested. Everyone has an opinion and wants to get something out of the wedding. Story 40. We planned ours to be more like a backyard barbecue, and people loved that. It also saved quite a bit. I wish we had invited more people. We kept it family only, which really hurt some of our friends. I still regret it. Story 41. I really loved my wedding. I don't think I would change anything. It was not perfect on paper. Minor things went wrong. It wasn't the most beautiful and aesthetically pleasing wedding, but it looked fine. It was the best we were able to do in the amount of time, 3 months, and within our budget. My husband had a great time. My family had a great time. I relaxed about the minor mishaps that happened. I made sure I ate. I had them play music I liked. I looked like myself. I wore what I thought was pretty, choosing the dress for me, not someone else. We had good food. We invited people we cared about and let our parents invite their friends. I did my best to organize and prepare. Then I simply let go on my wedding day. These are all the things I suggest for people to have a good wedding day. Story 42. Nothing. Both of our mothers had their invitations withdrawn. Her father was a no-show. Mine came. It set the tone for our marriage when it came to them. Story 43. We have not had one. We are very much in love, but often say if we had to do it over, we would not have a wedding. The stress was not worth it. I hardly remember anything about that day. The pictures are bad, and I did not get all the shots I wanted. Everything was rushed and things did not go right, but I was too flustered to realize it until looking back much later. The wedding ceremony was the easy part. The reception was the part one would never do again. Everyone says, just get married, then have a big party. Like the big party is the easy part. Spoiler alert. It is definitely not the easy part. Story 44. fussing over seating charts, using an aisle runner on wet grass, worrying about everything for a whole year of my life. I wish I had spent the after party with my out-of-town family instead of my husband and his friends. We divorced 3 years later, so one major thing I would have done differently is not get married at all. Story 45. Sit with my father longer. It was a different country wedding, so he could stay only for a few days. A year and a half after that, he committed suicide. Had I known that I would see him only once after that, I would have spent the whole day with him. Story 46. As an introvert, I convinced my wife to have a court wedding with only our parents as witnesses, instead of a big wedding with many guests. My reasons were the cost and the stress of planning, but also the thought of being the center of attention gave me anxiety. Our city offers the option to get married in front of a waterfront, which sounded appealing. We did it and we were happy. However, I later learned that she really wanted a traditional wedding, and I wished I could have given it to her. She agreed to the court wedding because she knows how much I hate being the center of attention and did not want to make a fuss. I also wish we had hired a professional photographer because we do not have any good photos from that day. Story 47. Geez. So many negative comments here. We had a great time at our wedding because we followed some advice that most couples do not seem to follow. My brother told me, "Nobody will remember the color of your napkins." Instead of trying to plan every single tiny detail about the evening, we each focused on a couple of things that interested us most and left the rest up to the discretion of our vendors. We also cut a lot of the ceremonial elements from the evening and took pictures together before the ceremony so that we could spend more time with our guests. I really cannot think of anything I would change. We had a great evening, everything was drama-free, and everyone had a great time. Story 48. I wish I wore smart shoes. I wish we banished my mother-in-law sooner. I wish the city workers had not allowed the village fool into a random wedding and sitting with the attendants. How could I forget? Make sure you choose your best man carefully. My best friend, who I grew up with, blamed me for not waking him up. So my brother took the role. Story 49. Apart from wishing I had not married the wrong person, take the time to choose the photographer. Do you like their style? Do not pick the cheapest option. Story 50. Less pre-drinking, at least for the men. Be light though. Ended in divorce anyway. Also, a better photographer who offers input rather than just snapping random photos the whole time. Story 51. It probably should have been a farewell because we moved 8 hours away. We are divorced now but still friends. I am scared of public speaking, so I said my vows with tears streaming down my face. I did not think about that part, to be honest. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.